Health is a huge outlay in any government's budget, and almost entirely that spend is spent on cure. Perhaps it's time to think of redirecting that spend to prevention. And perhaps it's time to consider food not as a commodity, but as a conveyor of nutrients which are vital to health, the promotion of health, the prevention of disease. Imagine if we could deliver a 50% reduction in the heart attack rate and stroke rate in Northern Ireland. What the impact would that be at human level? What would the impact of that be in terms of government expenditure? And those two conditions are only two examples of the many conditions that could be substantially improved, the prevention that could be delivered through a different focus on food. So I wanted to show it as one example of the sort of innovation that we're engaged in as a company. We spend over £20 million a year on our innovation projects. It's a huge outlay. We regard it as an investment as well as a cost, and it's a foundation for the growth of our business, both locally and on international markets. The focus of the work is on the simple concept of the provision of a properly balanced nutrient supply to livestock, and in turn a properly balanced nutrient supply to humans. When you have a market which is dominated by a food commodity outlook, the definition of commodity, which I most like, is the one attributed to Warren Buffett, which says that in a commodity market, the cheapest price will always prevail in the longer term. When something is exclusively focused on price, I think it is generally fair to say that you will always pay for what you get, but will you always get what you pay for? And when you examine current diets population-wide, they're not balanced in their nutrient supply. And a huge reason for that is the short-term, and in our view, short-sighted, almost singular focus on price. So you have a short-term saving in terms of the direct cost of the food item, but as you see in that little clip on one practical example, a long-term consequence which far outweighs, probably by 1,000-fold, any potential saving on the cost of the food item by the financial cost, let alone the human cost of the health consequence which arises. And the health consequence of an imbalanced diet is inevitable.